for our nation right now.
And how do you explain it? You got elected as a Republican in South Carolina. That is Trump country. How do you explain how so many people can be so incited to believe so many false claims to the point where they storm the Capitol? Congresswoman? Apparently we've lost our connections, our phone calls right now. As you see the Trump banner being flown there over the Capitol at this point. Pierre Thomas, let me go to you, our Chief Justice correspondent. What more do we know about where the reinforcements are, what the National Guard is going to do?
George, the D.C. National Guard, the Virginia National Guard, 200 Virginia State troopers are being dispatched to the scene. We're also being told, in addition to the federal law enforcement officials being asked to help the Capitol Police, we're also being told that local law enforcement, Arlington County Police, Montgomery County, Maryland Police are being asked to step in. I just was on the phone a little while ago with a law enforcement official who said there are no words. And the great concern tonight, George, is that as we head toward dusk, as we head toward nightfall, that once they clear the building, what are they going to do to try to get these people off the Capitol grounds? That is the issue, and the images that will spring forth from that in terms of how they handled it is what law enforcement is discussing, trying to assess now. How do they get the situation under control inside the building? Also, how to clear the grounds, George. That's an incredible undertaking, and as nightfall approaches, that is the concern, George.
Pierre, it will not be lost on a lot of people who remember that day back in June when there were protesters in Lafayette Square, how quickly and with what force there was a response.
Well, I'm hearing from people who are texting me, who are talking about how law enforcement is showing restraint today compared to what took place in Lafayette Park this summer. A lot of people are expressing questions about the privilege that some of these people are showing in terms of walking through that Capitol like they, yes, they are American citizens. Yes, it's the people's house, but there are ways and rules to do things, and people are quite frankly shocked at what they're seeing. But George, I can tell you right now, the concern is what is to come. This is far, far from over. Law enforcement knows it, and they're now scrambling to amass enough people to again try to clear the Capitol. And then how do they get the grounds clear outside the Capitol? What do they do? That's the question, George.
Thank you, Pierre. Martha Raddatz, what are you hearing from your sources in the military?
I don't think it's tear gas. I think it's
George, I have not talked to military in the last little while, but what I want to tell you is right now there's some sort of gas coming over there. Again, we're on the north side of the Capitol. This whole group is by the security area, and they are shouting, "Let us in, let us in, let us in." I have been to Trump rallies before. I have been threatened before in places. This seems very real. This is out of control here. There's no law enforcement in this area, and there are truly thousands of people here who are not leaving. I think let's go back to the military there again, George. I'm sure at some point the military is going to come and help out in this situation, or the Beast Guard, or somebody, because this entire plaza is filled with Trump supporters. And I'm not sure if Trump tweeted right now, "Go home," that they would go home. They are saying over and over again, this is our house. This is our house, and we have a right to go in there. And this is far from over. We are seeing either Capitol Police or DHS with riot shields up there right now. We don't know whether it was tear gas. There was a crowd saying it was tear gas and coming towards us, and that's why we got dropped. But they're now again shouting USA, 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 still trying to get into that building. The one thing that is very clear is Washington, D.C. was not prepared for this in any way. The lack of law enforcement. I mean, I'm sure law enforcement is getting together to try and figure out how to clear this, but they were not prepared for anything like this. This is a dangerous situation, and it's not going to abate very soon.
It doesn't appear that it will. And Tom Yamas, we're just learning that we have confirmed that an explosive device was discovered at the Republican National Committee.
Yeah, our investigative producers, both Jack Date and John Santucci, making calls on this. They have confirmed that there was a suspicious package at the RNC. They understand it to be a pipe bomb. It has since been detonated so far. Nobody was hurt in that. But it speaks to the severity and the level of security right now that we're dealing with on this day. And as Martha has said, it's chilling, George, that this was able to happen. We're going on 2-3 hours now. And, you know, these were MAGA supporters of the president. Imagine if this group had intentions to do something even worse in Capitol Hill. Clearly, they were not ready for this.
No, it appears that they were not. Okay, Tom, thanks very much. I want to go back to the city of Vegas. We were just talking to Chris Christie moments ago. He said he tried to get through to the president, but his call did not go through. What more are we hearing from inside the White House? Is there any